Hello everyone, my name is Spring, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to downgrade your Among Us game to basically any previous version that you want that has ever existed. The example version that we're going to be downgrading to is going to be 2021.6.30s, which in my opinion has to be the best version of the game so far. The two versions after that, which are 11.9 and 12.15, both have weird bugs that 6.30 doesn't have, bugs that don't let you connect, which have been identified but not fixed, whatever that means. Inner slot, it's been, what, nearly 3 months now, so fix your shit, man. I don't know what else to say. Yet another bug on the 12.15 version where every person is like clumped together in the meeting and you can only skip. You can't really vote for anyone since you can't really see who you're voting for. You can't, after these 11 seconds you'll be able to vote. This is just a screenshot that I got from one of my previous games, but either way, 6.30 supremacy. Shout out to Donners, a fellow supremacist of 6.30 with me. He released the 2.5.0 version of Town of Us a couple days ago, which is February the 4th, if I'm not mistaken, and he released all of the testing versions on a 6-month-old version of the game rather than a 2-month-old version of the game. Why? Because it's simply better. Yeah. Shout out Donners, man. Shout out Donners. I hope we see 2.5.2 on 6.30. Alright, so now that we've talked about the versions, let's talk about how to downgrade it to that version, right? What you'll need is something called Depot Downloader, which helps you download older versions of any game that you own on Steam. You'll need something called .NET to actually run it, but we'll get to that later. Let's talk about how Depot Downloader works first. On the right hand side you should see a button that says Releases. Click that. The latest version as of today is 2.4.5, so you'll need to download this zip file, Depot Downloader 245.zip. Click that. It should prompt a download screen. So save that onto your computer and extract it into its own folder, and it should extract into a folder that's Depot Downloader 245. Now, before we talk about Depot Downloader any further, I did say you need something called .NET to run Depot Downloader. This is a Microsoft product, so it's like a trusted website and all of that. The version of .NET as of today is 6.0, but again, feel free to download any future versions if they're available whenever you're watching the video. You'll need to download this, the .NET SDK x64. That's what you'll need. And it should prompt another download dialog. So yeah, there it is. Save it. Save it onto your computer and run the exe that you have just downloaded. Once you run it, all you have to do is hit next a bunch of times. It's just like any other exe file. Once you've done that, you gotta come to SteamDB, which is a website that tracks every version of every game ever released on Steam, I believe. This is the Among Us page. The app ID is 945360. We'll need that later. Click on depots because we'll have to download a depot of this game. And which depot do you think we need out of these three? Not this one for sure. This one? No, because this I think is just some DLCs that you might have downloaded for this game, so you don't really need that. What you will need is this. Even the file size tells you that. So click here. The depot ID is 945361, which is pretty similar to the app ID, but we'll need both of those numbers later. Now we will have to go into manifests, and here you'll see every previous version of the game that has ever been released. It only shows the 10 most recent versions. If you sign in through Steam, it'll show you more. I've seen the 2018 version of the game, which is the first ever release, and Skeld is the only map. There's no hats. Oh, sorry, there's hats, but there's no pants, or something like that. I have downgraded to 2018 versions, trust me. But yeah, locate the version of the game that you're looking to downgrade to, which is 2021.6.30. As it happens, this is 6.15 and there's no 7.7. This is 6.30. I believe it came into Steam beta, the public beta, on the 30th of June, but it officially released on the 7th of July. So we need the manifest ID, which is this big number, 351, and it ends in 6660. So remember this number, we'll need that later in the video as well. Alright, so now that we've established everything that we need, let's come into the folder where you have extracted your depot downloader zip file, which is here. For me, I've done it in Steam depot downloader. You should see all of these files. This folder will probably not be there for you. You should see all of these. The one you need, really, the most important one, is this file, depot downloader.dll. That's the one you really need. Make sure that's available. So now go into your Windows address bar, which is this space. You should see a lot of white space, empty space available here. So click anywhere on the empty white space and type in cmd.exe, which stands for command prompt, and it should launch up your cmd, which is your command prompt. Let me just make this a little bigger for you guys so you guys can see clearly. Now copy and paste the following command, which I have also left below in the description for you guys. All you have to do is copy and paste it. Do I make it even bigger? Yes, I do. Okay, there you go. There it is. So the command tells Windows to run the .NET, which you have downloaded and installed before. Hopefully you've done that. The file that you're doing it on, which is depot-downloader.dll. The app ID of the game, which is Among Us itself, which is 945360. The depot ID, we saw that as well, which is 945361. And the manifest ID, which is that big number that starts in 351 and ends in 6660. And finally, your username, which is your Steam username, which for privacy reasons, I'm going to not show you guys in the video. I'm just going to type in Spring. How cool would it be if I had the Steam username Spring? Make sure you enter your Steam login name, not your Steam name itself. But whatever name you have on Steam, that's not important. Whatever name you use to log into your Steam itself, into your Steam account, whatever that is, enter that in here. And my password, again, this is not even my account. I'm just going to type in Spring again. And it should give me an error that says wrong password. There it goes, invalid password. But for you guys, you'll be entering your correct username here and your correct password here. What you guys should see is something that looks like this. Once you've entered your password correctly, it should ask you for your two-factor authenticator code, which is either available to you on your email or on your Steam mobile device. So once you've entered that, it will log you in. It will accept your login key, whatever that means, and it will start spewing basically a bunch of nonsense that you can ignore. You don't really have to pay attention to what it says, but it should look similar to this is all. I'm just showing you guys what it looks like. And it'll start downloading the manifest ID, which is the same number as this one. And once it ends, it will look something like this. It'll count down from 0 to 100%, and it will say depot downloaded these many megabytes or bytes, and it will finally disconnect you from Steam once that's done. And once you've gotten to that stage, you can safely close the CMD file. So I'm going to go ahead and do that myself. And now you should see this depots folder, which I had already because I'd already run the command before I started recording this video. So go into this depots folder, go into 945361, which is the depot ID. You should see a bunch of random numbers. It's probably not going to be the same as what I have here. It's basically the depot ID according to depot downloader, not the game depot ID. But you should see a bunch of Among Us related files. Copy and paste all of these files, everything apart from the depot downloader folder. You don't need that. That's just depot downloader storing it for its own purposes, saying that this has been downloaded from a depot, and you can investigate this folder if you would like, but you only need all of these files. So copy, go into your game directory, which is here. It should be under C program files, Steam, Steam apps common. That's typically where Steam stores all of your games, but it might be different for you guys. Do your own research on that. Create a new folder here. I'm gonna call this Among Us 2021.6.30. There you go, and paste all of the stuff that you copied in here. And this should be pretty quick. It should take a few seconds at most, and that is all you have to do. Now once you double click this, it will launch the 2021.6.30 version of the game. If you would like to play the updated version, you just have to go in here and double click on this instead. But what we want is the 2021.6.30, right? So you double click this, it should launch the older version of the game, and that is all you have to do. So let me know if you were able to do this. Leave a like on the video if this process worked for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll try my best to respond to all of them. And other than that, just like the video and subscribe, and thank you guys for watching, and I hope this video was helpful to anyone that wanted to downgrade their Among Us.